Now, you ever get the feeling in life, just as you're kind of hanging around, what's that little thing on the heart painting? A little visitor. Hi, my dear ones. Missed you guys. Although I saw a bunch of you at class, that was fun. That was a good class. I enjoyed that class. Boy, we should have put it more as a spiritual class than an iridology class, although we got a fair amount covered. But wow, that was fun. Fun, fun, fun. Dr. Spock, years ago, milk may be bad for kids. Well, not only did Spock say that, but also the United States Surgeon General at the time, C. Everett Koop. I don't know if you all remember C. Everett Koop. Used to be one of the good guys. I think now he works for Monsanto. Too bad. But he also made the claim that milk isn't good for you, and he lost his job as the U.S. Surgeon General. In 30 days he was replaced. Oh, boy. Of course, the Dairymen's Association got all up in arms, and it's like, when your product is hurting people, you need to change your product. YouTube question with iPhotos. I don't think I went over this, did I? I've been so busy with the class, I apologize not having any videos out for you, but holy moly, we put together a fun class, and some guy has shirts like that. He's going to make them. Isn't that cool? Fruits, berries, and melons. Shirts. Had all kinds of cool things there. Crystal beds, I think we had crystal beds, crystal healing. We had all kinds of things going on there. So I don't know why I see this YouTube question with iPhotos, so let me go over this. Let me see here. This is Luke and Eric. Let me see here. Question Eric. Shorter case. He is 9 years old. Had many vaccinations, regrettably. And I tell you, I'm using, I hate to use it, but you know, when you see ADD, you know these are the poor vaccinated ones. And it's like, holy crap, what they do to us. Practically never get sick, strong constitution, never ear infections, never lung or sinus infections, no asthma or allergies of any kind. You know, you wouldn't think, but you're reading about a 9-year-old, you wouldn't think a 9-year-old would have any of these, but they all have something like that. So for a young man 9 not to have these problems, and it's like, you should never have these problems. But, you know, asthmatics and stuff like this, that's the adrenal glands, that's neurological weakness. And that's part of the COPD chain. Never been on medications of any kind, including antibiotics. Oh my God, this young man is lucky. 80% fruit, but still eating some starches, as listed above for Luke. You know, that's pretty good for a 9-year-old. I have to tell you, the parents are doing a really good job with this, because that's pretty good for a 9-year-old. Excuse me. Oh, darn. I took photos of his eyes and noticed things that I found alarming. The kudas in the heart, lung area of both eyes. This is Eric's right and Eric's left. Okay. Very difficult to see, guys. Very difficult to see here. Wonder what that black thing is. Alright. Notice the skin ring already around the eye. That's that dark rim around the outside of the eye. That's a skin ring, meaning the skin is in a chronic stage of weakness. Oh yeah. What this is the right leg of the young man and the kidney of the young man. There is a right leg weakness. An appendix is in the chronic stage. The kidney is in a you're going to watch this one, my friend. Your son's kidney is in a very chronic stage. I haven't seen a kidney this weak in quite a while. This is a very chronic kidney, and it's infiltrating the prostate and everything else. You see that real dark line right there? That's kidneys. And on the top side of it, the prostate on a little young man of 9 years old. We're also seeing thyroid, parathyroid weakness, upper C-spine weakness. We have possibly here just a little pancreatic, maybe a little gallbladder, but we have bronchial trunk weakness that feeds the lower lobe of the right lung. And if you look real bad, this young man has a lot of stomach problems, and there's some sulfur in there. There's some orange sulfur in there. And this is the left eye of this poor young man. More of the same. That almost look like they're transposed eyes, but look at this really black area. This is this young man's kidneys. This is serious stuff here, guys. There is some leg weakness on this, but the left hip, the whole left hip is weak genetically. Subacutely, I would say. The bowels are in bad shape. He really is majorly malabsorbed. Your young man is not absorbing the nutrition. This in the heart area is really, the heart is just full of congestion. He has major congestion in the heart, a chronic bronchial trunk weakness, and a chest wall. If he would have been a woman, and even in a male, we have had breast cancer in males, he's got a left breast weakness that's chronic, and a chest wall and all of that. Also, his upper T-spine and the throat's got some weaknesses. I get to his left ear, right, and I've got weaknesses in his left ear, some of the mastoids, cerebellum. He's got pituitary, pineal gland weakness, frontal lobe weakness a lot. So, but I'll say the positive side of this is that he's got pretty good genes, except for those areas. And all I can say is you need to have your son away from proteins, because the stomach here is very burnt and not happy at all. And that's the home of the autonomic nervous system. I don't really see any nerve rings in your young. A little bit here on the right eye, a little bit, but not a lot of nerve rings, which is good considering that the kidneys and the adrenals are in a very chronic stage of weakness. As a rule, you will see a lot of nerve rings with this, and you don't. So that's a good blessing there. So I would definitely want to talk, you'd want to work with your young man here, but the GI tract is in a heavy state of lymph stagnation. Matter of fact, there's so much lymph stagnation interstitially in his intestinal wall that he's going to be a Crohn's, IBS, or something coming now. I see major prolapses of the small intestines here, and part of the transverse colon. Also, more of the transverse, you have more of a prolapsing of the ascending midway. Some Humpty Dumpty, spastic bowel on the left side near the sigmoid flexure. So that's going to be Eric. I actually had him undergo an extensive heart scan for 2 years ago, but I wanted to rule. I don't see the heart there. That looks like chest wall. That's right in his left chest wall. That's right where the breast would be. So either a female or someone in that family has had some serious problems with the left chest area, because this is a pretty big weakness there. That's not the heart area. The heart, though, heavy lymph stagnation. That's what you want to get the lymph moving for. The bronchial trunk is involved there as well on that left side, feeding the upper lobe perhaps. But, you want to go after your young men and their GI tract, their lymphatic systems, and you really want to go after the kidneys, the skin, make sure their thyroids. Now, here's a little bit of a pituitary weakness here, so you want to think about that in your protocols and stuff like that. This is Luke. Luke is just 5 years old. And he has never been on antibiotics, medication, smart family. And I have always resisted sending him to the doctor, even for checkups. I've let his own body do the healing. This is a smart person. He has only four injections of DT and P. Yeah, I know, vaccination crap. Those are the bad ones, though, the diphtherias and all that. Hep B. Before I prohibited any further vaccines, last injection was over 2 years ago. He's rarely sick, though. That's good. You know, you really want to detox these children of yours because their lymph systems are a little bit of a mess. And that's serious. The kidneys in Eric is not good. He has recently developed symptoms that his own body is not healing, and after 2 months of this now, I'm concerned. Okay, so absolutely putrid smelling farts. Well, now, his GI tract is a lot better than Eric's, I'll tell you that. You know, you've got some sulfur involvement here, I believe. Now, this could be subacute. Yellowing is subacute in a blue eye, but this could be sulfur. There's a little bit of sulfur, I think, in Eric, but if it is, that could be from the sulfur, or he's got some impactions and stuff, and you want to use the stomach and bowel formulas and clean up the GI tract. Stay away from the putrefaction of meats and stuff like that. Bright red ring around anus. Ooh. Boy, bright red ring around. Well, does it itch? You know, I would deworm him and defungal the kids anyway. You know, really want to do that. And also, I would get that inflammation out of there. I'm looking at the left eye and the rectal area. This is a good eye for pulling. This is a good eye for pulling here. For a pupil pulling, we had that in class, and people had also, you know, I hate to tell you, but Luke is only 5 years old, but he has a little bit of the violet hue. Hopefully that's just the photograph. The violet hue is kind of the motto of this year's iridology class. Last year was patterns of trabecula, and now it's the violet hue, which is the first sign of poor circulation developing. And we want to take a look. The violet hue is kind of bleeds into the sclera, the right portion. It looks violet. That's poor circulation beginning. Now, with Luke, you'll see. I don't know if you can get this, but around the bowel wall is this ring or rim of lymph. It's in that bowel wall. It's yellowing. That's heavy lymph stagnation in the bowel wall. See how it looks thicker than this? This white is an acute level of lymph stagnation. The yellowing is subacute unless there's sulfur involved here. But it builds up, just like out in the tissues here, it builds up in the wall interstitially. They call this the autonomic nerve rib. Actually, it isn't. It's the bowel wall. And it's the GI tract wall from the large to the small. So, let's look at Luke for a minute here. Luke's right eye. Okay, so you have interstitial lymphatic constipation in the intestinal wall. You have malabsorption going on in both children. You got the thick bowel walls, not good. Now, here's a pretty dark spot here, right around 6 o'clock, and I have to say that's probably his adrenal gland. And with that said, that would be in a very chronic stage of weakness. At 5 years old, I can see that. The kidney is better than Eric's, but it's still light-sided chronic. Not a good kidneys. And then the knee also here, he's got a light knee weakness there at about an acute level. Minor groin weaknesses in the hip could be stronger as well, more like the knee, subacutely weak. A lot of lymph stagnation in the pancreas, little gallbladder weakness, I think, with him. A little chest wall weakness on the right side where the breast is. Some bronchial trunk in the lower, going into the lower lobe. There's 3 lobes on the right side, 2 lobes on the left, in your lungs. Now, up in the upper neck area here on the right side, there's some weaknesses also in Luke. But you all have lymph stagnation going on there. Luke also has a little bit of a bladder weakness going on here. Genetically. Look, that's the right side. Now, the left side of the body is a little genetically different, but that would fit kind of with the kidney differences and stuff like this. This pupil's a little more pulled to the nose there, and you can see that, which gives it excellent leg weakness all the way down. More chronic in the knee down, but definitely involved. The groin definitely involved, and the hip a little bit involved here on the left side. With that said, the kidneys are in a subacute stage of weakness. The rectal wall is weak. A lot of lymph stagnation in the rectal flexure, and looks like a very chronic prostate. Let me see here real quick here. The throat weakness. So he might have a sore throat during your detox, but boom. Let me see here, just for the fun of it, if we can even get a line up that way. Yeah, I'm going to say your lumbar's a little deterioration maybe in his back. You got to be careful. And this could be a lymph node. Matter of fact, when you look at your son Luke, look at about 7:30, maybe a little more closer to 8. You'll see a little black dot. That black dot is out where the lymph nodes are, and that would be concerning, truthfully. So just something to keep the heads up. Skin ring a little bit, not as much as Eric, but definitely a little bit of a skin ring. But he's got this violet hue around the eye, which is a first sign of poor circulation. As you could have tumors when you're 5 years old, you can have poor circulation now. There's a pretty good lacuna right back here. Now this is right in the midbrain here. Now, Yeah. We got a lot of congestion in the ear there. We got some throat weakness. We have genetics in the left ear. Some inflammation in the mastoid, but a little bit of genetic cerebellum. But from the cerebellum to the frontal, you've got a couple of spots there that could become brain lesions if you weren't careful. A real wicked throat weakness here on the left side. I don't see how you can help but have a real sore throat sometime during this, and this gives some weakness to the upper C-spine. But all in all, not bad. So when I see the boys, you really just got to get the lymph system moving. I would work on the kidneys and the endocrine glands. Your boys are like everybody else. Kidneys, the lymph system, kidneys and adrenals, da-da-da-da-da, but also the endocrine glands and the GI tract. I would keep your boys on upper circuit, brain, and nerve. Yeah, you see all these skin spots. I don't know if you can see those little skin spots, but yeah, anytime you start to see things like that, these are just little expressions from the lymph system. And once you clean up the lymph system, these little things go away, like skin tags will fall off and stuff like that. And Luke beginning stages of skin lesion. Yeah, but you know what? Everything you see on the skin just about comes from the inside. So that's where you have to work, is on the inside. And when you work on the inside, then the outside becomes beautiful again. And that's all it is. All you're seeing is the condition of the inside of the body through the outside of the skin. All right. I hope that's helpful to you. Oh yeah, I think I read this to you, where chemo is not enough. They want to start using antibiotics because they're finding that microbes are trying to attack the chemo or the cells. That, you know, it's nature trying to protect itself and man trying to destroy it. Funny how that is. I think I read to you also the Now the new thing is replacement of lymph nodes by plastic surgeons. Isn't it funny? It took the plastic surgeons the one to come up with the lymph node dilemma. You remove a lymph node, you get lymphedema, we just replace that lymph node with another lymph node in the body. But you could get lymphedema there too, but maybe not as much as... We like to fix things, don't we? Yeah. And I think I've covered these things with you there. Let's see, this is Luke. He inspects his food, and whenever I've tried to add herbs, he refused to eat the food. Well, you know what, you just have to keep working with him. Alright, so she's saying something here. Is this a female asking these questions? I have been able to eliminate from his diet all flesh, all eggs, most veggies, and all dairy except some butter. The current stage we're in at the time of this letter is that he is still eating oatmeal, cornmeal, pasta, butter, occasionally all the fungal foods. That makes sense. Raw carrots, cucumbers, bell peppers, hummus, nuts, and avocado. Now, I'd definitely get him away from the nuts. If you can, maybe pine nuts, pignolia nuts, better, I think. He gets very, very angry and ravenous. You know, we want to deworm him, of course, get the parasites out of him, maybe a little liver gallbladder for a month or so, clean all that out. That should change him. Upper circuit brain and nerve on everyone there. That'll change the mental outlook right there. I am presuming he has a fungus excessive candida. You're right on. See, you guys are really, really smart. Absolutely. And so I would go after the parasites for sure. And the red around the... Yeah, I definitely would. I think you're right on with that. Also thank the kidneys and adrenals. And also think your children are malabsorbed. I mean, you look at that malabsorption ring, and that's that bowel wall. And on both children, you see a thick bowel wall ring. It's very malabsorbed. So I think some of that goes to play with that, too. And remember, how does your body utilize chemistry? You know, you're sucking down your food. How does your body utilize it? Is it just, and the same thing when taking supplements. How does your body utilize it? Don't you have to fix these things before you supplement? So the utilization of chemistry comes from the adrenal glands, mostly. Mineralocorticosteroids, cortisol, sugars are metabolized by the adrenals, iron, selenium, zinc, all utilized by the adrenal glands. What's not utilized by the adrenal glands? Calcium, parathyroid. But, absolutely, and what I see here is prolapsing of these colons and stuff. So you definitely want to get your children, take care of their endocrine glands, because they control everything, from the size, the shapes, everything. So really want to make those healthy in these young lads and fix the parathyroid weakness, because you'll start to hearing growing pains. I got growing pains in my legs, cramping and pains in my legs and stuff like this. That's a sure sign of parathyroid weakness right there. And you can see the connective tissue weakness, you know, with the prolapsing and stuff. But you still want to keep working. The value of these kind of books can't be overstated, because this is what children need to read to link them to truth. Very provable to get children to understand we're more primate-ish. I don't know if people understand this, but we share similarities, right, with the chimpanzee. What percentage? What percentage does the Homo sapien share with the chimpanzee primate? 97%. So you have to understand that we are frugivores, period. Justice news. I like justice. What's this? Oh, company sentence for Lacey Act. Yeah, poor young living essential oils. One of the supervisors must have screwed up, and the more the company owners didn't know anything about it. Poor employee got dumped on, huh? They got fined for $500,000, $135,000 in each restitution, a community service payment of $125,000 for protection of species and stuff. Seems like they were bringing in, what was it, rosewood or something? Gibson Guitars kind of got in trouble for that too, bringing in either rosewood or one of the beautiful woods. It got in trouble for it by the feds. It looks like a Young Living got in trouble. Well, they have their stuff priced astronomically. They're an MLM, so. And there's the smoke up the you-know-what, but. I just got introduced via YouTube to Dr. Morse about a month ago. What a blessing. Oh, wow. I am a registered nurse of 30 years who left mainstream medicine after awakening and realizing I'm not helping anyone get healthy. Good nurse. Again, right up the road in Sarasota, there are probably 400 or 500 members now. There was 250 members 20 years ago. Holistic Nursing Association. They get it around here. They get that medicinos are not the answer. They get that treating symptoms and diseases are not the answer. But they need a place to go because they're great souls that want to help others. And I thought this field is perfect for our LPNs too. This is a great field for nurses. Great field because it's compassionate, it's loving, it's helping them through, it's helping them with their meals, it's helping them in all levels of their life. Nurses are so, most of them are really good people. I was just part of the drug delivery system that is keeping people sick. I know it, honey. Listen, you can't beat yourself up. This is all unconscious stuff here. I am not a health coach working in wellness. I am now a health coach working in wellness. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. That's a perfect place for you. First, I am new to raw eating, although I am very excited to learn about it and reverse my own acidosis. Well, think about this. No animal cooks their food before they eat it. Nobody processes and destroys their food except humans. And it's like, where did that need come in? Because most foods man eats undigestible. Hard to digest and everything else, but if you cook the crap out of it, it seems to go down better. That's what macrobiotics think about raw vegetables. Cook them, they're better for you. So they're not better for you, but they digest a little easier, maybe. But they're wrong food for us. Is the 14-week protocol the way to begin? I think so. I designed that to begin. And I'd jump in full feet aboard. Now, if you have something very serious that you've been diagnosed with, then we want to maybe make you a kit designed for you. I know nothing about herbology. Fun thing to learn. Just like medical. At first things seem overwhelming. Oh my God, there's 5,000 herbs and stuff like that. But listen, in all these years I've taught botanical classes and detoxification classes, and I'd come up with 20 herbs. Take these 20 herbs. I'm sorry, I got no sleep last night. I apologize. I was up all night. I shouldn't apologize, but I used to give 20 herbs and say, learn them, and learn them well. Get them, bruise them, smell them, play with them, taste them, get an idea of what that herb is, research it, what does it do, all the things you can, cross-reference several herb books and so many copycat books, and then get another one, and another one. Even check your formulas that you're using from here. Look at the herbs I used in the formula, look them up. See why I used them in that formula. Because for nurses, I would think botanicals would be a fun field for you. I really do. When you realize those are the feel-good things, those are the little specialty group out there made for man's ills, his tissues in his body. When you have a gallbladder that's damaged, how do you fix it? When you have a pancreas with a tumor in it, how do you fix it? When you have genetic weaknesses all over, how do you enhance them? Well, little red button. A little red button right there. Just apologize for that. Always something coming up. Yeah. You know, when I was first introduced to the natural hygienic community, it was probably in 1970, I'm going to guess. It just made total sense to me. Now, I'm an old farm boy, and you know, you cook, you barbecue, but it just made sense that no animal cooks their food before they eat it. That's obvious. No animal processes it. You know, and like I say, most animals are mono-eaters. I saw one orangutan on Discovery Channel once. She picked up 2 different fruit, set it in front of her and the kid, and started eating. So you can see the change of consciousness then into a more self-consciousness in the primate area. Is the 14-week protocol the way to begin? I know nothing about herbology, although I plan on jumping in with both feet to take the level 1 course. I would. You're a nurse, and you have a pretty good background. The problem is now you have to let go of what you think you know is true, which you probably already have already. I can tell in the way you're writing this, and realize that we're almost 180 opposite medical thinking. When medical thinking is that the average human has alkalosis problems, that's 180 degrees until they realize that all this systemic waste are acids, not alkalis, that we're not in a state of alkalosis in chemistry, we're in a state of acidosis. And this is one of the failings with chemistry, and you can prove it every time. This is a state of acidosis, and you see everything that goes along with acidosis. The acid side of chemistry is a glomulating side of chemistry. It sucks your electrolytes dry. I mean, the power of ionization in acids, you know. So dehydration, agglomulation, all the things you see in medical world of diseases fits right under the acid sky in the lymphatic system. They're not diseases. This is cause and effect of chemistry and physics. And it's that simple. And you can turn it around as you can create it. Isn't that cool? So you have the power to fix, to turn it around, and make your body well again. It's just simply understand there's only 2 sides of chemistry. Throw the word diseases into the wastebasket. Doesn't exist. And start asking yourself, all right. What am I doing that could cause my symptoms? All right, what am I possibly doing that could cause this bacterial problem? Or what could it be that I'm doing to affect my inner world in the human body? You eat. The human body, and I've said this for years, the human body is a sensory food processor. Your human body is just a food processor. And there's 4 stages of this food processing. There's digestion, there's absorption, there's utilization, adrenals, remember adrenal mineralocorticosteroids and parathyroid hormone for calcium. Even the sugars are metabolized by the adrenals. And then you have elimination. Not elimination just of digestive waste, but of metabolitic cellular waste. You know, the joke of this whole friggin' thing is that man is dying on his own excretions. His own waste. And the medical doctors are more obliged to help you there. They just want to stick some weird name of another medical doctor who said all these symptoms are the Morse syndrome. You have the Morse syndrome. Excuse me. I am 59 years young. Oh, this lady's 59. Wow. That's a long history of nursing to get out. That's pretty good. And relatively healthy, diagnosed with Hashimoto years ago and have been on levothyroxine. Easy to fix, clean your throat, get your lymph moving. If you have to pump that up, get rid of levothyroxine. If I was you, I'd be learning how to titrate off of that. You're an RN, and at the same time, I'm backing it up either with a granular or I'm backing it up with herbal power to the thyroid, and I might want to check to see if my pituitary is down because that might be another influence to my Hashimoto. Now, I understand why. Then started bioidentical. No. She started bioidentical hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone about 4 months ago. No. Man, I had two doctors, man and wife team once at a class, and that's what they did, is recommend bioidentical steroids. And it's like, no, can't. Because they'll have the same effect. It doesn't matter if they're bioidentical. That's all bull crap. It's all just blood work and everything, bull crap. No. You don't want to even mess with your glands like that. You're talking about supplying your body the need of what your glands do, and man doesn't have a fraction of the awareness to do that. Medical doctors stick you on these things and leave you, and then you have serious consequences. None of these things strengthen. They all weaken. So you're... I don't know where that's coming from. I've been doing a lot of pineapple pulls. No, you don't want bioidentical steroid. That's all hype, crap, stupid, ridiculous. Don't do it. You run down, that's when you enter your glandular. And I have someone say, well, I'll take a steroid over a glandular. What? I don't think so. I never want to do that. In February, I developed an irregular heart. Well, I wouldn't doubt it. You're on these steroids and stuff. You want to get off of these steroids. These are steroids you're on, not hormones. In February, I developed an irregular heartbeat. Now, sure, if it's PVCs or PACs, well, you're a nurse, okay? So you know you don't want PVCs, and what's causing irregular heart rate? I would rethink the bioidenticals. I would go after my kidneys and adrenal glands, my lymphatic system, my gut, and go after the endocrine glands, and start to titrate off of that levothyroxine if it was me. I would back that up with maybe a 50 milligram or 75 milligram thyroid, but you won't need that much. I'd look at my eyes to see if I have that pituitary lacuna. I have started to wean myself off of all these already, preparing for my detox, good woman, and using the herbs. My question is this: do I add thyroid and thymus tonic to the 14-week protocol? No, you've got endocrine gland in there, and that should be enough. If it's not enough, you could add this thyroid, or you could add a little, even 50 milligram glandular, just for a month or so, to pop that up. And as you clean the lymph and everything, cells start turning back on. You're hydrating, you're bringing energetic foods into the body, so the energy starting to turn everything on again. The enzymatic action in the body starting to fix the blood up nice, and the pHs are all proper, and so everything is working well now. And it's just a matter of a process of getting your body to go down this road a little bit. Whether it takes you a year or 2 years, who gives a hoot? You're in a new adventure. Don't look back. Don't look back in the past. That's a causal body. You don't need to look back. That's dragging the past to the front. You don't want to do that. You want to live in the now. Start now. New world, new you, new everything. Throw out the old furniture, throw out everything, and this is the new you. The new kid on the block. Right? Right. Those old habits, they come creeping in, send them back away. Send them back away. Is this the one I got? No, that's the one at home. Oh, let me tell you. Micah had another one of these with galaxies of rainbows in it. My God, it was gorgeous. Well, is. I had to. Yeah. You can't hardly get them anymore. Unbelievable. These are green crystals from John of God. Good stuff. I am trying to keep the expenses low, although I know my health is worth whatever price it costs, and Dr. M's herbs are extremely reasonably priced. Well, thanks for saying that, but when you know what you're getting, they are. I mean, you're talking about 4-to-1 concentrates here, and these herbal formulas should be $36 a bottle. But I have them down to, 23 or 4, somewhere in that range. But that's why we don't have a lot of money. That's why our company just gets by. Why we have a hard time dealing with wholesale right now. I know there's a lot of you that like to have wholesale accounts, but it's killing us. We have some wholesale accounts that almost sell more herbs than we do, and it's like overseas, and it's like it keeps us drained really bad. It's hard right now, so we're working on it. We have a granddaughter waiting for a kidney. What? Wait a minute here. Wait. put the brakes on here. We have a granddaughter waiting for a kidney transplant, so any extra money we have we use to help our kids with the ridiculous expenses of the meds they have on her. What? Man, you want to fix her. You don't want to do a kidney transplant. You want to grab your daughter or son by the neck, make them watch these videos, and regenerate this child's kidney. You don't want to transplant the kidney. No, someone else has to give up a kidney to do that. You're not going to use a cadaver's kidney as a rule. So why would you steal someone else's kidney? They need it. We need both kidneys. So people don't get that. You know, these medical creeps, I mean, I'll give up one of your kidneys, you don't need it. That's what they say in the kidney dialysis center. Hell, you got 2 kidneys, give up one. What? Because you don't understand the bilateralness of the human body and the need of these lymphatic organs? Holy moly crowley. This is not good, and you don't want your granddaughter going through this. You want to regenerate her kidney. She's a young girl, obviously, granddaughter probably. You're 59. These kids can regenerate quickly. I mean, that's a big mistake, brother. Sooner as I would have pleaded with my daughter and son-in-law to take her for a second opinion. There you go, your daughter. Grab her by the neck and say, are you stupid? I didn't raise a stupid daughter. You know, this is serious stuff, boy. People don't think, I would just do a kidney transplant, no big deal. Oh, really? These things are bigger deals than could ever be imagined. Sadly, the medical machine removed both her... What? Sadly, the medical machine removed both her kidneys 5 months ago, and she is on dialysis 12 to 14 hours a night. You know, I can see why people take drugs. Anybody got some mushrooms or something? Jesus Christ. I mean, this is sickening. Sickening! Sickening! These creeps remove both kidneys. It's sickening. But I'm going to tell you guys, Mom and Dad, please listen to this. You got to take care of your children. These are serious trouble. Look at Luke and Eric. Both very bad kidneys, but particularly the one extremely weak kidneys. You've got to start working on these, or that'll be the next kidney transplant, and they're both chronic. We got some real serious problems, guys, and you're the beautiful ones that can help. You guys are the ones. I love all of you, and I know you guys are doing an excellent job. I hear in the classes all the people you're saving. I hear this all the time. Just amazing what you guys are doing. And you don't have any, some of you have no degrees whatsoever. Oh, that's got to be a hard spoonful to take on this planet. I thought academics was everything. Not really. Awareness is everything. I would appreciate any guidance you may be able to offer in helping me get started the correct way. Thanks for all your job. Sweetheart. Oh, this is Phyllis. Hey, Phyllis. You know, if you can afford the 14-week go that way, get yourself work yourself up to an all-fruit, berry, and melon diet. You got to try it. You got to live up there for a few months. Enjoy that level. You know, if you get out of your minds and let the mind desire all it wants, but put your mind over there in the corner so you don't have to listen to it complain, and then you're free from your mind. You're in the now, and you have total control. But anything we can do to help you, honey. I love nurses and stuff. This is cute. Check this out. I'm eating breakfast with my 2 sons in Fort Wilderness Campground in Disney World. Are you Dr. Morse? There's that good lad right there. This gentleman right there was in Fort Wilderness Campground. And talk about a fluke. This is probably 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. But this guy has almost overcome his leukemia. And you keep it straight, my friend. You keep the fruits, berries, and melons, because We clean up leukemia every day of the week, and you're almost done with yours, and you just keep going. He's working with Attila, and he's almost done. Woo-hoo! You get it done, bro. You get it done, and then you're all done, and you don't have to worry about all this other crap and chemo and everything else. You get it done, okay? I'll put you up on my bulletin board back here. That's good. Good deal. I'll show that to Attila. Now, scientific finally confirms that certain fruits do not raise blood sugar in diabetics, and even prevents diabetes. We've already discussed this one, but this is recirculating. Science finally confirms that certain fruits do not raise blood sugar at all in diabetics and even prevents it. Oh, wait a minute. Haven't we been saying that for how many years? How many have we been saying this? They're going to catch up with us someday. I just discovered your videos on YouTube, and I've been watching and trying to absorb everything. In March 2014, I was diagnosed with stage 2B triple negative breast cancer. So you had the stage 2 triple bypass, double over the top, around the curve, negative breast cancer. At the time, I was living in California and had heard about cannabis oil in treating cancer. So, interesting how you put that. Cannabis oil in treating cancer. So, in addition to poisoning my body with chemo and radiation, excuse me. Well, at least you know what you did. I mean, I don't want to laugh, but yeah, that's funny how you wrote that. That was pretty cute. Yeah, after, oh, poor thing. So in addition to poisoning my body with chemo and radiation, I took a daily dose of cannabis oil while undergoing the traditional treatment. Well, I think that's probably a good thing you did that. After finishing treatment, I decided that I was done with traditional doctors, and I hope so. Has a blowback hit you yet? Generally, when you do chemo and radiation, it can take up to 2 years, but the blowback, not good. So that's why after you wake up, and generally, sometimes chemo and radiation does wake people up because of you can imagine, sitting there taking a hotter acid than Coca-Cola but then you got the blowback to deal with. That's why get on this program as quick as possible, and the blowback will be minor. After finishing treatment, I decided that I was done with traditional doctors and that I needed to find someone to work with that could help me build my immune system back up and try to repair the damage I had done, which would be prudent thinking. I now live in a small town in Idaho. We were just talking about the Idaho potato, where we were talking about Laetrile and do I use it, or the apricot kernels, and I said no. And I was talking about the one case I was telling you about in the past where it was an Amish lady that took shark cartilage. And at the time, shark cartilage was touting that it encased tumors and locked them away. It's like, why? You don't want to do that. They'll come empty. They'll unfill as they fill. But what this did is the tumor actually caused the tumor to grow to her chest wall. So I did send her down to Contreras Clinic in Baja and had her do some Laetrile to loosen it up. Laetrile lipids loosen things up like that. Kind of why we use castor oil packs, to loosen oil. You know, the main acid protecting substance of the body. Electrolytes will be fried. Ionization, that constant movement, oils. Now, but was able to find a naturopathic doctor here in my town. She did a blood test and told me that I need to cut out all fruit, salt, white flour, citric acid, and sugar. All fruit, too. That's a naturopath. I am not a big meat eater, so I have been eating a plant-based diet with some grains like brown rice and oatmeal thrown in the mix. I have been eating this new way for about a year now, and I just have a nagging feeling that I am hurting myself by not including fruits in my diet. Well, that naturopath doesn't have a clue, and it's a female, too bad. She doesn't have a clue what true healing is. She might call herself a naturopath, but she probably got her degree from Bastyr, Southwest, or some little side corner pocket. You know, she doesn't got a clue about health. So, I mean, this is a typical thing you see in naturopaths out there. Sad stuff, though. I'd like to be able to say, here's a naturopath, but I can't because a lot of them are just, they're not thinking and they're hurting their clients more than helping them. Too bad. I am worried that I am not providing myself what I need to prevent a reoccurrence of cancer caused by the chemo and radiation. I ordered your book yesterday and can't wait for it to get here. What products would you recommend that I use? Thank you, Denise. Hi, Denise. Well, Denise, fruits, berries, and melons. And while you're thinking about it, why don't you just drop 10 days? Give me 10 days. Dark grape fast. Dark grapes, 10 days. Give it to me now. Okay? I'm serious. 10 days. And then let's talk. Because this is what you have to do. This naturopath has no experience in curing any of these things. You can tell by what she recommended you to do. But you always want the fruit level because of its astringent and its energetic values. Vegetable levels only take more energy to digest, pull down the digestion, and give you less ability to remove tumors. So you really want the fruit level for sure. Fruits, berries, and melons are perfectly suited for this level. Read the Grape Cure and look at all the beautiful stories about that, and we have thousands of them here. But go after it that way. Now, herbal-wise, you go in the 14 or have us week's protocol, or have us make you have one. But you know where you're going. You've got to understand your lymphatic system. You got to understand your lymphatic system as we teach it. The kidney and adrenal connection to that as the major players in the eliminative organ side. The skin is the main eliminative organ of the lymph system. Three kidneys. These are the eliminative organs of the lymphatic system. And get up to speed and get yourself hunking. I think you ditch the grains, ditch the beans. Yeah, you're in cold country and this is winter, so you're going to be cold. Wrong place to be to get into raw foods, but you got to. So bundle up, get you a heater because it's coming winter. But this naturopath. I would have her review my videos and tell her to get up to speed and get with all the other naturopaths. It's going to go right on past her. Matter of fact, the sad thing is, most of you guys, especially the artists, but most of you guys that's been to our schools and everything, and the stories and the guys that I'm helping, you guys are curing 1,000 times more than any naturopath out there that's degreed up and everything else. What's that? I love it, don't you? Because health is our innate right. Everybody should know how to fix themselves, not reserved to doctors. Every one of you should know how to fix your physical body. Don't you agree? I agree. This is Scott Black. Hey, Scott Black. My question is about lucid dreaming. Could you please explain what the dark forces are that many people, including myself, experience when they lucid dream? Well, I used to be very active in trying to go lucid until one traumatic experience with a dark figure who I'm certain wasn't a traditional dream figure. Some freaky stuff to me. Yeah. How do we avoid these negative spiritual forces? Also, what's a good goal to expand myself spiritually using lucid dreams? Thank you, Scott. You know, when I first got into what was called generally soul travel or out-of-body traveling, I was really excited about that, and I was reading all the metaphysical books and stuff like that on all this sort of thing, and then the Jung work, and there's a dream work in Jungian therapy now. Everybody's heard of Carl Jung, right? And his wife, and all of that, coined the id and all that, and his fight with the sexual guy, Frederick, or whatever his name was. But Carl Jung was more respected, I think, because he didn't go there so much with all the impulses, basically initiate from a sexual impulse. But the Jungian work, the Jungian dream work, is a branch, and I don't know if it's still there. I know it was way back when, but it was a branch of Jungian therapy that would get you back into the dream and get you into a more conscious. Lucid dreaming just means you're more conscious in the dream, and that it's probably more of a real experience in some of the inner heavens, even though illusionary as they are. So these more lucid dreams are much more real for you and have a more of a reality to them. Now, with that said, you realize that as negative as you can think and as negative as you can imagine, that's still God. See, what people don't realize is that all the scriptures tell you that there's only one God, but at the same time, some throws you in a misinformation by telling you there's God and the devil. How can there be only one, but then there be two? And they're not explaining it to the folk. And that is that the one is consciousness, that's the God. But the two is creation. That's duality, where the dark and the light exist as opposite sides of the same coin. So, your most negative experiences is also your positive experiences. So, what you have to, I'll say this, the humans lack strength. So, I highly recommend you guys gain strength. One of the ways to gain strength is spend time alone and love yourself. Understand that the buck stops with you. There's nothing past you. But the you that I'm talking about has no form. It's in a world far, far away in a way, and yet it's right here, right now. And that is the eternal you. That is the you that some refer to as the soul, but it goes much deeper than that. And this is where you start out as awareness, as consciousness. That which is aware behind those eyes that's listening and looking at these videos. To listen to these videos and to get down to this physical world, you have to take shisa and bodies, different bodies, to be able to bring yourself down here. This area could not handle the God-conscious state at all. That's why we're all stepped down and limited and limited and more limited and more limited. Never be afraid of the dark forces, ever. The dark forces come knocking, you go sending. Never ever take anything from reptilians, dark forces, or anything like that. There's some good reps, but don't let anybody take you off of your norm or take you out of your consciousness. You get back away from your mind, because it's the mind is where they can play. So get out of your mind. That's where you're the most unaware. That's where you're like a leaf blowing in a wind. So become conscious, and your own power will protect you. Surround yourself with the golden light, or even the blue light. Masters generally come into the form of blue light, but there's the golden ones, and then there's the silent ones, or the 18-foot tall ones that was at the class. Oh, I told you guys to hang on to your bippies, because this is going to be revved up a whole bunch, and I got to listen too. There's a lot coming here that's going to be very powerful. Already is. A lot of you are already having incredible experiences. The masters are visiting like crazy. So, Scott, I can only tell you is that you're the only one that can protect yourself. You can have a spiritual guide all you want. I suggest you look to the Eck Masters, because these guys are the protectors. These guys are unbelievable, but you don't take my word for it. But let me tell you, there's nothing like the Eck Masters. They know of worlds no other does. Even in a lot of the lore, you can't get these beings. Very few understand the deep, deep, deep levels of God like these guys do. So they're just incredible beings. And anytime you can get a help from them, and they're male and female, like Katadaki, yeah. Shamus to Breeze, I know a couple of guys are seeing Shamus to Breeze. That's Jonathan Rumi's master. These are masters. These aren't just masters. These are masters. Be careful. Whew. These guys are unbelievable. So there's power coming. all around. I suggest for those that are doing harm to others, you stop and get yourself corrected. It's not always pleasant to experience karma. Henry, Henrey. Hi, Dr. Morse. Hi, Henry. I have a question I hope you can answer. You talked about in quite a few YouTube videos that you have OBEs or astral projections, and that someone taught you how to astral project in your earlier 20s. Yeah. Also, how masters can come and take you out of your body. You ever had that? Absolutely. Is there any advice that you can give me where I can astral project? Oh, absolutely. Think of the Rosicrucians. The Rosicrucians, I mean, it's a nice order. It's like the Masonic order, but they're an old spiritual order. They still have some old temples around, but their whole thing is to teach you astral travel. But I'm giving you some techniques like the one where you lay down in bed and you're falling asleep, but you move your attention, not your body. You're falling asleep. You, though, want to move your body. You never sleep, so you want to move your attention, not your body. Only a few people can do that, like Malarapa, but move your physical body, take it apart basically anatomically, and reform it to what it was. They used to say the story of Malarapa is a divine story of power and spiritual lessons and trainings, and this gentleman lived in caves for years up in the snow and would turn himself into snow leopards in the winter. Whether one believes that or not, interesting stories of extreme aloneness, deep connection and absorption with God, some incredible stories. You know, that's the thing about these spiritual giants. They're God-absorbed beings. They're about the divine, period. And you can feel their presence. But anything to move you, I gave you a few techniques here in a couple of videos ago, and these are older questions and answers. But I gave you a few techniques there, and very helpful. But I guess I already knew about the now, because I also was woke up with the Be Here Now and the J. Krishnamurti and stuff like this. But in the earlier years, Twitchell courses broke on the Master Chila syndrome. Well, I come along and I'm not into Master Chila syndromes. Yeah, I think the master is only a way shower, and that the Chila, the student, is the one that has to get it themselves. And that the only thing a master or spiritual guide is there to guide as a way shower and to help you with some information and some insights at times. So, you know, there's a lot to this side of it. The health side is the easy side. That's the side that, you know, you'll get it after a while. It's so simple. But your survival beyond this world and the level of that survival depends on what you do right now. What you know, how you conduct yourself, and what you create or not create for yourself. Remember, your creation is what keeps you in creation. So if you want to experience the all in the all, quit creating, as Buddha said. Stop desiring. But remember the one question that I have to you, my dear one. Who's the astral traveler? So you're astral traveling. Who is the traveler that's actually doing the traveling? See, traveling is of creation. Consciousness, there is no travel. You're it. There is nothing beyond that. There's nothing to say about it because it doesn't exist in time. It's eternal. It is what Christianity said right on point. Omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. That's all you can say about it. It is the all in the all. With the all in the all, there is no duality. Duality only exists illusionarily inside of itself. Nothing can exist outside of God. It is the all. Understand the words that are being used. In Christianity, there's a lot of forked and double-tongued talk. On one side it's the all, and on the other side there's God and the devil. So it's a difference between those that wrote that part, which is more conscious, and those that wrote about the God and the devil. Because how many people wrote the Bible? Several hundred. You know, the Discovery, National Geographic, I think it is, has a whole thing out of how many people wrote the Bible, how many churches along the sea there, and all that involved who wrote the Bible, how many people's hand was involved. So you pretty realize that a lot of people were involved in writing this work, and not everyone can maintain a pure conscious awareness of God. So you see things can get mixed up a little bit. And that's true with all written works, okay? You don't want to get too wrapped up in the written works, because you're not a written being. You're a living, conscious being. That's what you want to connect with, is the living consciousness. And you can't read about it in a book because it's something you already are. The thing that keeps you from being awake of that is using your thoughts and your mind and your emotions, and the attention of the five senses of the physical body pulls you right away from that and doesn't make you feel. It's so slick. I've said God is so good. It fools itself completely. Amazing. Amazing. But that's what I would do. I would love to know how to safely astral project and meet masters and our higher beings to maybe receive knowledge. You know, I always tried, but then I looked to the Ek masters. And I have looked to different masters, not a lot, but a little bit through my journey. And none of them. There's no beings, in my opinion, including the ascended masters of Saint Germain, Michael, and all that love. But you're talking about the Ek masters, and these beings are up there near the silent ones, and you'll never know the silent ones. You'll just see them. It's barely then. Incredible, humble. I don't know. Nothing to say about them. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Why the four? Those are the worst four. There's 23 other Gospels, guys, and they're more agnostic. They're more on, when you read them, and even some of the works that are only about 100 years away from the man. So you might want to take a look at the other Gospels. Gospels according to Mary, every one of them, Paul, all of them, and I'm telling you, they are good. It really gives you a better insight and a better understanding of actually the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those guys were out there picking their noses when Jesus was in meditating with the rest of them. What did you mean, Master? I was busy picking my nose. Matthew, I visited your health club on August 1st, and I wanted to take the time to personally thank all of you at the Herbal Health Club. Thank you, man. We don't have a big place here, but it's fun working here. Everybody is always buzzing around here. You are all incredibly friendly. Oh, good. I'm glad. They better be accommodating, and the customer service was exceptional. Thanks. I'll let them know. It is a blessing to have stopped in, and I will recommend the club to everyone I know. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Furthermore, in regards to my question, I was curious if you have ever treated a client for internal scar tissue. A lot of them. Specifically, a ureteral, ureteral strictural. I have had a urethral strictural since I was a child. I'm 24 years old. Wow. Wow. Any guidance regarding how to reduce or help or how to detoxify my body from urethral scar tissue would be greatly appreciated, as at times it affects my flow of urine. No kidding. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. You would definitely want to get rid of acids, knowing that acids weld or scar tissue, and of course swell tissue. So you don't want to get into that, because then you would have a hard time peeing. So alkalize. get on the grape diet, get on these high fruit and berry melon diets because they clean so well interstitially. They are astringent. They're electrolyte rich, so you have ionization, you have hydration. So it pulls you out of agglomulation. We're telling you all factually in chemistry exactly what's going on, and you can't deny it because it's factual. So if a medical doctor can look at this all day long, and if he doesn't understand what I'm saying, then what's he doing as a medical doctor? So you got to understand, this is how you explain in chemistry what's going on when you start consuming living foods. They're electrical, they're alkaline dominants. They create hydration and they remove agglomulation, which is a cationic environment. They replace it with an anionic environment. More electrical. Hopefully. Awful young lady, but this is what's going on. And to look at these young lads we just looked at, did you see those dark kidneys in that, what was it, Luke or one of them? Eric. Look at his kidneys. Holy crap. He's got some seriously weak kidneys. But you don't go remove them. You rebuild them and repair them. This poor little kid now has got someone else's kidneys. I mean, these people are creepy now to me. Be careful. Thanks for the comments there. I'm going to let everybody know because they love, everybody loves to get good comments, that's for sure. Because I think humans pretty much are good-natured and pretty good. I know there's a concerted effort to eliminate the human race, and I'm not talking about anyone on the human planet, on Earth. There's a thought that the humans it's not going anywhere species. I disagree. I think we can turn this species into a great species. I really do. So we'll see. Dawn blood. Whoa. Dawn blood. DAWN blood. Hello and thank you for your time. What are your thoughts on massage and folks with cancer, current or in remission? For massage? I can't imagine this is a loaded question. Perhaps send me a link to one of Dr. Morse's videos. I am a fan, and spread his name to everyone that I would listen. Oh, thanks, Don. I'll say this. Massage to the kidneys. Lymphatic massage. You don't want to do lymphatic massage to the heart. You remember the system that you're massaging. This is a good example. And this is another example of some unconsciousness. Because we used to have a massage school right beside here. Matter of fact, a couple times I've had massage schools by my clinics. What system do you go to massage school to learn? That's right. And the problem is, they don't know very much about it. So that's a problem. When your whole modality is based upon the lymphatic system, and yet there's a major part of that system that's not even understood yet. Most of that system is not understood yet. So, when you're kneading and working tissue, what are you working? You've got cells, interstitial spaces around them, and those full of fluids. So now what are we massaging? We're trying to move the stagnant lymph. You're not trying to move blood. Blood is already moving, because if blood isn't moving to your tissues, No. That could be death of the tissue. However, the stiffness and the tightness, what you're after is lymphatic. That's what gets stagnant interstitially. That's what you're working on. Well, understanding the kidneys and the skin are the eliminative organs of this, why would you massage acids toward your heart? I think it's one of the most asinine, stupid things the allopathy has come up with yet, almost. So, massage, yes, but to the kidneys. You want to get your kidneys filtering. I would say this, do more of a lymphatic neurological massage. We have a special guest.
Special guest.
Oh, no, it's you. Wasn't that fun in class?
Yes, it was a blast.
That was a blast. That was a good class, too.
Absolutely.
Very spiritual.
I was watching one of the videos from prior to this heart being here, and the heart, don't you think it just adds so much?
I think it does.
It's pretty
I was showing this one. This is cute because do you feel just like this some days? Hanging around on the heart?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What's that?
I have a young lady. I didn't want to interrupt. I just popped in because I didn't know if you were videoing or not. I was going to see if you could say hi to her, but you're busy. So
I'll run down and say hi.
will you?
Yeah.
Can we pause it
Oh
for just a
yeah,
minute?
I'll pause it for just a minute and run
Okay.
down and say hi to her. Yeah, where's she from?
She really needs a couple words from
Does she?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's she from?
UK.
Okay, I'm coming right now.
All right.
All right, guys, I'll be right back. A little touch of love. All right, be right back.